Good morning, contestants. I'm Embark Hyper, and welcome to the final Season 8 presentation. We got lots of great stuff to show you today, but before we get into that, the majors are demanding sacrifices. So we're gonna satisfy them through the seasonal purge of all your favorite things in the game. Alright, let's get that first thing up here. Goodbye, Pike, it was nice knowing you.
What's going on, boys? Let's hop right into the Season 8 review. I had to delay the Johnny Silverhand video because Embark dropped the new season a day early, and now I'm pissed because after Embark absolutely shafted melee weapons in Season 7, they went right back to it by making the Riot Shield even worse.
Sorry, Riot Shield, it's nothing against you personally. We don't like any of you melee players around here.
But listen, let's not let the death of our favorite things to play in this game get to us, because we still got some great new additions in the game. Chief among them is the two new weapons we got, the P90, the first ever submachine gun for medium players, and the big fucking pistol. I will say, I wish we got more weapons or gadgets or something, but these two weapons are pretty neat. The P90 is great for medium players who want to play a bit more aggressive at closer ranges without having to use either of those garbage-ass shotguns. It has a lot of bullets with low recoil, the time to kill is decent, and the reload doesn't take too long, which is good, cause the rate of fire means you're gonna be reloading this thing a lot. Then there's the Titan. I wasn't sure how much I would like this weapon at first cause I usually do awful with precision weapons, but I'm not gonna lie, I kinda popped off with this thing. It's one of those high risk, high reward weapons that you really gotta hit your shots with, so basically the type of weapon I usually get cooked with. But like I said, I did a lot better with this gun than I thought I would. I'm definitely not bringing it into any rank matches, but overall, I think the Titan deserves its spot right next to the Dual Deagles. But I don't know if we really needed to nerf the Dual Deagles to prove it.
Listen, Diego, I know nobody was really complaining about you, but we got a quota to fill.
Jesus, these weapons are getting massacred. Where's President Triper to make a deal to buff a weapon when you need him? President Triper, please save me, President Triper. But even though we don't have President Triper around to save these weapons from getting shot by Embark's executioners, we can at least rest easy knowing that some of the god-awful maps in this game have been saved. Like Monaco. Nah, I'm just kidding. Monaco wasn't that bad, but they did improve it a bit by making the suspended structures more like the ones on Bernal. The best map in the game, fight me. But even more important than that is the fact that Kyoto is no longer the worst map in the game. Congratulations, Seoul, you've been promoted. Kyoto has a lot more zip lines, jump pads, planks, and a bunch of other stuff to make walking around it way less of a pain in the ass. They also put up some more walls to cut down the amount of long sight lines there are on the map. Basically, you don't have to always run movement and long-range weapons to do well on the map anymore. I don't know if I'll have any footage of this map by the time I release this review, but from what I hear, it plays a lot better now. And if those new walls on Kyoto are a little bit too much for you, then maybe you can consider getting rid of them with the brand new Destruction 2.0 system. That's not what Embark calls it, I just think it sounds better than smooth destruction. But basically, the destruction for heavy objects is a lot less bouncy now. Gone are the days of cranes landing on buildings and bouncing off like a fucking Orf teddy bear. Now when a crane hits the roof, it breaks the whole goddamn building. Battlefield 6, look, I love you, but you gotta step up your game. We also got a big improvement to the onboarding process for new players. I don't really care enough to get into the nitty-gritty, but just know that if you're new to the game, you'll have a lot easier of a time learning the game, and you have a better selection of casual game modes to help you get the hang of things, like head-to-head. This was originally a limited time mode, then I guess Embark realized that would have been fucking stupid, so they made it a permanent game mode. But because this game is so slept on, they had to pick another game mode to send to the private game corner, and this time around, it was Terminal Attack. And since nobody was paying attention to the games that were in the private game rotation to begin with, they just sent TA and Bankit to the executioners.
Alright, Bankit, Terminal Attack, we had a great run, but we got Arc Raiders coming out next month, and we don't have time to QA test you guys anymore.
But don't be sad about the loss of 2 game modes because we have 2 new sponsors. Well, they don't really replace game modes and there's technically only 1 new sponsor, but anyways. First up, we have Trentilla, the Mexican fruit company showing up about 3 seasons too late for the Mexican season, and then we have Hotel coming back from season 4. Both of these sponsors also come with some great skins for your newly nerfed Desert Eagle. But anyways, you might think I signed with Trentilla because of my ethnicity, but personally, I'm quite offended that you think I would betray my first sponsor, Los Pollos Hermanos, simply because I'm Mexican. Nobody will make me betray Mr. Frame, and if that means I'm losing the sponsor showdown this season, then I'm going down with the ship. But we've now reached the part of the video where I speedrun through the shit that I don't really care about that much. It's all good stuff, don't get me wrong, but nothing I'm gonna piss my pants over. We got another pretty good battle pass for you to go through, featuring some pretty good skins from America and a bunch of other inferior countries. They added Team Deathmatch to Bernal, which, to be honest, I thought was already a thing. You can now see a post-match recap when you finish a match of Quick Cash, World Tour, or Ranked, and I'ma be real, what the fuck even is this chart to the left, bro? This is terrible. Earrings and cosmetic effects have been added to the character creator. If you're on console, you can use mouse and keyboard now, but let's be real, half of you motherfuckers were using Cronus anyway. Yeah, I'm on to you. We have kill cams now, okay? You can't hide from me anymore. Matchmaking was adjusted to match solo players with other solo players more often, but considering I got matched with at least one full stat club in every World Tour match I played, the effectiveness is debatable to say the least. And that's about it. To be honest, it kind of feels like Embark was scared to change things up too much because of the majors, which is why they didn't go as hard as they usually do. And if esports is your thing, then I'm sure you're a lot happier than I am, but for me personally, it really feels like Embark is putting too much emphasis on this shit, and it's getting kind of annoying. Like, if you're that scared to add more substantial changes because of a $100,000 tournament, then how's the game gonna look when the prize pool starts to increase? And don't even get me started on the balancing. The executioners over at Embark will sacrifice your weapons for the major. They'll sacrifice your gadgets for the major.
Later, Thermal Vision, we promise to totally bring you back in a couple seasons though. You won't end up like Recon Senses.
Hell, Embark will even take your club name from you while you sleep and give it to a pro team for the major.
Hey, Embark, this is Embark Hyper calling in. You know me, you love me. I just noticed that when I went to make a club named Zorp, there was a very large club of 99 players occupying that name. And I was just wondering if I could get approval to send in the executioners and take it for ourselves. After all, I'm a niche influencer in the finals community. Clearly this means I get whatever I want, right? Okay, but what if they get mad? Oh, well, I don't know. If they get mad, just send them a generic apology email. Make it say something like, "Go fuck yourself, you fucking casual. What, you think being a large active club since season 5 and being loyal players for even longer than that means anything? You stupid little fuck. The majors are right around the corner and we have to cater the whole game around that. Now please, buy one of our esports bundles."
Yeah, you guys might have missed this, but I think it deserves some attention. A couple days ago, as of the time of me making this video, Embark took a name from a very large and active club that existed since clubs were added to the game back in season 5, and they gave it to one of the pro teams, all because one of the members of that team allegedly emailed asking for the name. No consulting the club owners, no asking nicely, no offer to compensate them. They just straight up took the name away and gave it to the pro players. Now, they eventually reverted this decision and gave the name back, but here's the thing. Embark claims they've taken name from inactive clubs to give them to other communities before, which would have been understandable if that was the case here, but it's not. Once they took the club name from the original owners, someone in the club emailed support letting them know the name was changed, which indicates that the club was still active. I mean, I don't know why nobody checked to see whether or not a club with 99 fucking players was active, but whatever. Now, if Embark's excuse was true, at this point they would have said, "Oh shit, my bad bro, here's your club back." But no, Embark's response essentially boiled down to, "Yeah, we have the majors coming up and we think this club name would fit better for one of the pro teams, so we took it from you and came up with a new one. So in other words, go fuck yourself." And this is what they were gonna stick with until they got absolutely ass blasted on social media, and only after that happened was when Embark was like, "Oh, we made a mistake, we're sorry." They promised to find a better system in the future, and I do believe them. But the fact that they tried to get away with this shit to begin with is exactly why Embark will not be receiving any seals of approval this time around. I take that seal very seriously, and if Embark gets their act together, maybe they can have one next season. However, I'm a reasonable guy. If I could give one to the soundtrack alone, god damn that shit good. So how's the progress on our latest contract?
Going good, sir.
We couldn't catch up to it in time for the seasonal sacrifice, but the Shaq 50 can't hide forever.